Hey everybody, Michael Snyder, California Weather Watch. Today is October 28th, and right now we are looking at the infrared satellite imagery. And as you can see, we've got north flow coming down across much of the west coast of the USA. Some high pressure going to be setting up across the Great Basin, powering some strong offshore winds here across the region. Low relative humidity, some fire danger will accompany this high wind potential, and we will look at that in some detail as we go through the video here today. We're also going to take a look at the extended pattern change likely coming as we get some warmer, wetter systems moving in off the Pacific Ocean. How much of California will those systems include? That's what we're trying to figure out here, and we'll watch that day by day. Current hazards. I mean, we've got a lot going on here. We got wind advisories, we got high wind warnings, we got high wind watches, we got red flag warnings, we got freeze watch and warnings out there. A lot of stuff going on. So let's just dive into things here. And you can see Eureka, California, low relative humidities, gusty winds up towards 50 miles per hour. Any fires that develop will likely spread rapidly. And this goes on in through 5 p.m. Sunday. And we've got wind advisories, especially across some of the higher terrain. You can be gusting up towards 70 miles per hour with the highest peaks. And some of this does include the I-5 corridor. So you could be getting some interesting gusts out there as well. And of course, this is going to be accompanied by some fire danger. And this is that red flag warning here, low relative humidity. Just kind of drilling it in everybody's head here to watch out. Let's try not to start any fires out here because it could rapidly get out of control. This is Southern California, San Diego to be specific, Irvine, Ontario, San Bernardino, and you can see the Los Angeles metro generally shielded from the strongest of these winds, but you can see surrounding it and across the higher terrain, the gap, the terrain areas there, and across some of the desert areas, some big gusts. You get Joshua Tree 55 there, and even higher across the higher terrain, Palm Springs, some gusty winds as well. Critical fire danger, National Weather Service Hanford, know your evacuation route, follow local burn bans, clear brush away from your home. You guys know the drill out there, and let's start any forest fires. So we've got wind advisories out across places like Arizona, just on the border there as well. You can see some blowing dust and sand out there. Look at 55 mile per hour gusts, maybe 45 for Yuma there. Desert Center, Joshua Tree, again, some gusty winds out there also. So what's going on here? If I put this into motion, this is last night's European, by the way. You can see the high pressure settling down over much of the Intermountain West, and that's what's going to power these strong winds across the region. You're fanning out all the way across some of the Pacific Northwest, offshore winds all the way down through Southern California, eventually towards Baja, and you can see this high pressure kind of sag south all the way across the central USA and eventually out towards the Gulf of Mexico. Powerful early season Arctic high driving these winds. Now this is looking at 925 millibars. You got Washington, Oregon, California, Nevada here. There's Baja at the bottom of this image, and we put this into motion, and as this high pressure kind of comes down across the region, you can see the winds powering across Northern California, the higher terrain of the Sierra Nevada, and out through Southern California here, north winds down across some of the desert areas. So yeah, that's a result of that very high pressure there with that Arctic high. And you can see this continues all the way into early Tuesday morning, at least for Southern California, and maybe even towards the afternoon before that starts to wane across Southern California. So hopefully no fires are ongoing, so that would be a couple days of some poor fire conditions out there, and it could allow those to burn for a while. So anyway, looking at a little bit closer, you can see these winds kicking up as we go through the day today. Some north winds for a time down the valley. Then you can see they kind of turn a little bit easterly and northeasterly as we go through tonight. And some very strong winds again across the higher terrain, including some of the Bay Area, especially the higher hilltops. And then you can see that transfer down across Southern California as well. These strong offshore winds are going to be really ripping here as we go through the day Sunday, and potentially gusting up towards 70 miles per hour, even across Southern California, especially the gaps in the higher terrain out there as well. In the desert areas, some very strong winds incoming. This is the NAM3 cam, accumulated max 10 meter wind gusts. So this is surfaced wind gusts, and you can see it starts across Northern California first. Look at some of these big winds across the northern central Sierra Nevada, then that moves down across Southern California, and just huge winds rolling in here, showing up towards 70 miles per hour again. And look at a lot of Southern Nevada, a lot of the desert areas, higher terrain, all the way out towards the California-Arizona border. Very strong winds incoming here. As I scroll off into Monday, too, you can kind of see that continuing for portions of Southern California, for Baja as well. Some strong offshore winds down there through Mexico. Now, looking at the NAM3 cam a little bit closer here. So we put this into motion. Again, you can kind of see the Los Angeles metro generally kind of shielded here. But once you go south a bit, check it out. Some really nasty gusts up for 60 miles per hour here. And of course, like I mentioned, the higher terrain in the desert areas as well. So you guys know where you are here. Check it out and look for your area. All the way up to the coastline, some gusts up over 60 miles per hour are possible. This is the HER3 cam, another high resolution model. This one runs every hour, but every 6 hours it goes out 48 hours. So we're we're looking at that one, the 12Z. This is this morning. And again, kind of similarly gusty winds here across much of the region and all the way on in through the end of the run here. Monday still, these winds will be ongoing. Now, looking at the European, this is a wider view of things here, the Hawaiian Islands to the bottom left. And we're going to take a look off towards the extended forecast a bit. As you can see, the Arctic high driving these powerful offshore winds. No precipitation expected in the short term. Then we get some systems starting to return to the west coast here. And this one could impact Northern California as we go through the Thursday, Friday timeframe there. And then a strong storm showed up on last night's European run here and potentially casting somewhat of an atmospheric river down into California here. Low confidence at this point, but we're starting to get some model agreement that we are going to turn active here for the early portion of November, and we're kind of watching to see how far that storm track is going to sag south. And of course, we'll always watch for tropical systems down there just in case. Keep that in the back of our mind. 8 to 14-day temperature outlook. Much of the west coast definitely going to shift to an above average temperature regime here as we go November 4th through the 10th. 8 to 14-day, and again, some above average precip could be shifting down into California, but also some below average showing up across New Mexico, Arizona, and portions of Southern California as well. So a lot to figure out here in the extended forecast. This is also an experimental product, shows a slight risk of heavy precipitation almost down to the Bay Area. Again, November 4th through November 10th, and some wind maybe impacting Northern California as well. We'll just continue to watch this day by day. Still plenty of time to look at that right now. And the reservoirs are doing pretty good. Trinity is about 85% of its normal value here, but most of the reservoirs are doing nice. And I like this diagram because it shows you just how big the reservoir is. You can see Shasta, Oroville, Trinity Lake, some of the bigger reservoirs out there. And you can see the smaller ones down here showing that. And the red line is historical average here, and you can see a lot of places are above historical average. So doing pretty well water-wise across California, and we're doing well drought-wise as well. And this does not take into account the kind of the groundwater issues that California has been having. Those are long-term, kind of depleted a lot of the groundwater, and the ground sinks across some of the valley areas out there. So yeah, it does not take that into account. But anyway, yeah, I hope you guys are liking these videos. Channel's doing great here. I plan on taking a trip down to California here if we get some active weather systems here in the next week or two as well, and kind of get out there and check out the state, maybe get some nice active weather video out there, and maybe make a video here. And I'm probably going to work on another El Nino video once that update comes as we go on in through November. So that'll be coming out as well. But yeah, anyway, I hope you guys are liking these daily videos. I mean, it seems like a lot of viewers are checking back in. The subscriber count keeps going. Thanks to all my new members of the page here. And eventually I'll be doing another weather station giveaway. And also, if you want a nice affordable home weather station, click on the link down below. I'll put it in this the description down below, so you can save 10% off of that as well. And check out that website because they have handheld wind meters also that are really nice, and they hook up with your smartphone as well. It's actually replaced my Kestrel, and I use this one now when I'm out storm chasing. Just really nice. So anyway, yeah, so we'll do this again tomorrow, and I will talk to you guys then. Hope you guys are having a good day.